Good morning. It is. What day is it? Oh, it's April 28th. It's funny because I type in the title and all that kind of stuff before going live. And then I momentarily forget what frickin' day it is. So it is Friday, April 28th. I am Sensei Mish, and this is Morning Tea with me. So it's been last week has been pretty full of excitement. So we had big thing is the launch of my book. So it is officially available for those people who promoted it or who pre-ordered it. They get those have already been ordered. In fact, I've already got notifications from Amazon that they're already starting to ship, which is super quick because that like never happens ever. Like, you order it on Monday and then it ships on Friday for at least ordering author copies. So morning, Rob. So for for most people, their orders should arrive around between the 8th and the 10th. Actually, what really what was different for me in this process was me ordering. Usually when I press the publish book, when I hit the publish book option, it takes, I don't know, about a day for it to for the little button to pop up for ordering author copies. So as soon as close as I can get it to the day of the opening, I hit it, and so I can order them as soon as possible. What was different this time is when I ordered it, or I hit the I hit the publish thing. I waited 24 hours, and it still had this little promote and advertise button, which I'd never seen before. So this is new on KDP, and it was there, and it was there, and it was there, and I was like, and of course, it always says, oh, it could take 72 hours to to publish the book, but it was like it said it was live, like the book said it was live, but it would not allow me to order author copies at all. And so finally, when the first the black and white version, the standard copy, I could only order it on Amazon.com because it'll allow you. Basically, it's like, how many copies do you want to order, and where do you want to order it from? So, like for those people who order it in Europe, I usually send it from the German site. I could not order it from the German site. The only option, like I had people in Canada buy this book. The only option was .com. So it actually, and usually it's like all of them are available like right away. So that was an interesting little hiccup that I had, but eventually, for both the color copy and the black and white copy, it showed up. So I did all the orders, including I ordered mine last. So I should be getting mine around the 11th or 12th or something like that. So so for that, I will once those come in, then those people who ordered the pack, the special package of the 2 copies, a crimp and a trainer, then their stuff will go out. So I would say third week of March is when those should be arriving. But I will, of course, notify those people when they go out. So as you can notice, I have a different background. It's not my office. It's not the living room. It is my backyard. So I'm really excited. Hello from East Germany. Jim, how are you, sir? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Jim and I were actually messaging earlier. He had uploaded a bunch of new material to the site, or to our little thing, and so I've been slowly going through. He's struggling. Traveling is not going well for him in the old age. I can only imagine. I would love to, I would love to be over there with you guys. I'd love to travel a little bit more. But I mean, even traveling to the East Coast can sometimes be, a little bit hard. But I can only imagine traveling across the into a completely different country. So I've only done that once, and I was like 6, so I don't remember it at all. But so he uploaded a bunch of stuff. I've been slowly going through it. Oh, he drank a beer for us all. Sweet. That's awesome. But we're about 2/3 the way through the book. I think 2/3 is a good estimate. He has a couple more countries to record and then upload, and then he'll be done for the most part with his part. So it's basically just me. I've transcribed everything, but now I'm editing. So and then his brother Dwayne will be doing some editing on my edits. So make it sound a little bit more readable. But my goal is to preserve I want, when people read this book, I want them to hear Jim's voice when reading these stories. That's and of course the other people that contributed. I'm really looking forward to it. Jim's camp, his fall camp, is going to be, what is it? It's that first weekend in October. Let's see, let's bring up the calendar. So you do not sound like a frog. Well, maybe now you might sound like a frog because of your travels, but you don't sound like a frog. So Jim's fall camp, which I will be going to, is the 6th, 7th, 8th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Definitely a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or definitely a Saturday, Sunday. Don't know if he's going to do the Friday, but I'll be out there for that. And then hopefully I will be staying and then going to the Hogan camp the following weekend, which is the 14th and 15th. So yeah, so if it's the next weekend is the 13th, which is the Friday, because I think there's a Friday night and an all-day Saturday. So that would be 13th and 14th. And then so that's my plan. Hopefully that will go. But my goal for the book is to have it complete and ready, so those who pre-order can actually pick it up at the camp, at Jim's camp. So, and then if they pre-order and wanted to basically to pick it up at the Hogan camp, we'll have stuff there to pick up at the Hogan camp. So yeah, so that's my goal, is to get is to have it ready by that first weekend in October. So And you know, that's what, like, if we, like, it's the 28th right now. So if we look at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that really truly gives a solid 4 months to get this finished, which I can totally see it happening. I don't, you know, there's, we are so close. And just word count, we're looking right now at about 45,000 words total so far, rough estimate. And so I can only imagine with what Jim will add. I mean, you're going to have a good solid 50 plus thousand words, which is, yeah, I'd say 200, maybe 250 pages. So, yeah, yeah, it's just a bunch of funny stories. It is a bunch of funny stories, and it's it's I don't know, I'd say some learning moments too, but funny learning moments. um, but yeah, and of course, you know, the contributors. It's interesting, all the different people that I've the stories that they have told of their adventures with Jim. Um, yeah, it's gonna be such an awesome book. So, um, pre-orders are not ready yet. I'm not gonna; those won't be ready for at least a few more months. I want to get a solid draft to make sure that everything is together. But yeah, it's gonna be freaking cool. It's gonna be sweet book. So let's see, a compendium of a surreal life. Yes, yeah, absolutely. So we have a bunch of people watching right now. I know Rob's probably there. I know Jim is there. Who else is watching? Put, you know, show yourself in the comments. Say hi. We got, according to my little thing here, we got 3 on Facebook and 2 on YouTube. So, um, uh, who, you know, who's watching, where are you watching from? Um, let's see what there's just, yeah, it's been, oh, Sensei Emmett, how are you, sir? Just out of the office and in the car. All right, well, don't drive in text. That can be dangerous. Good to hear that you're here, sir. So what was it last week? Oh, and then my son and my grandson. There's Ashton. There we go. Ooh, Carl, sir, how are you? Oh, there we go. Checking in. Awesome. So last week I was at last Friday, I think I mentioned, I think I mentioned this last week. Okay. I love this. My brother went to a German nudist sauna yesterday. He won't shut up about it. Okay, so we need a story about that in the book. If I can only imagine. Okay. So yesterday last week I talked about that I was going to be going and doing this this local elementary school and handing out free popcorn, because and I bagged popcorn. I bagged like 100 bags and got rid of them all. There's only a couple hours there, but we did that on Friday. Very successful. I actually got a couple leads from that. 2 people actually signed up for a free lessons from that. So I'm really excited about that. Tomorrow we're going to be at Evergreen, in the Evergreen High School parking lot. So I've got a table for that. And then because it's a bigger craft fair, and they don't really care about like if you make the stuff or not, I got a second table to sell all my mom's Starbucks mugs. Let's see. Did he leave feeling worse or better about himself? Yeah, that's why we need that story. All right. Busy day, 6 p.m. here, hour commute home, then jiu-jitsu at 7:30. Gotta love the grind. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like sometimes when like for me today, I was up late last night because we were organizing my mom's Starbucks mugs that I kind of inherited from her. Did a little bit more this morning, and then I started labeling bags for the popcorn because again, I'm not going to have power for tomorrow. So, so bagging more bags. I think we're going to bag because it's an all day thing. We're going to bag like 400 bags, and I'm going to leave my wife and my daughter there alone so I can actually go teach my normal Saturday classes. So, or at least the kids classes, get those done. But that'll be fun. All right. So let's see. He didn't care. Not showing. He says, I'm not showing my naked ass. I hate seeing myself naked, let alone knowing anyone else. It's 6:30 there. Jeez. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do going to a nudist thing. Let's see. You're bagging popcorn. I'm etching glass and preparing to etch knives. When do they get here? Well, it took me a couple hours and I was I didn't have a system down. I had a small system. I improved the system this time, but I was late because I have the bag with the little label on it. I changed the label. Now it has a QR code and it says Artisan Martial Arts with a telephone number. But I would label the bag, I'd fill the bag, and then whatever. So I made it took me a couple hours by myself to bag 100 bags, and I got so much going on today. Like I've got even though my wife can do some of it for the Starbucks things, I'm trying to label the Starbucks stuff. Even though the thing is tomorrow, hopefully with the bagged popcorn, it won't go stale too bad or too quickly. So I want to wait a little bit until I can actually, I'm not going to do it like right away. But I've got 400 bags. That's a lot of popcorn. And then I've got classes to teach. And then I've got a delivery to make for my uncle. And yeah, so today's going to be a full, and then tomorrow, full day. Oh yeah, I got to go to the bank and get some cash for the whatchamacallit, for the Starbucks mugs. And that's been a challenge, pricing the Starbucks mugs. So my mom she was a huge Starbucks fan. And I was more of a Katie Sackhoff Starbucks fan, but she liked Starbucks as in the drink. Anyway, so she collected mugs, and after counting, she ended up with over 350 mugs, and I counted maybe probably closer to 400 because since this is kind of a spring part of spring, I guess you could spring fair. The same group does a winter fair, which I did the winter bazaar last year. So I was thinking strategically, we just keep all of the Christmas Starbucks mugs for the winter bazaar, and then we'll just kind of go from there. But yeah, so we've been on eBay and looking at that and just kind of and pricing that, and then thinking, okay, well, we also need to collect sales tax on that, and all that kind of stuff. So But yeah, but anyway, so like I didn't count the Christmas ones because we were just setting them aside and putting them in this container. And so I guessed. So I definitely more than 350. I would say probably closer to 400. Let's see. Emmett, the nudist thing is cool. Um, in the voice of Mel Gibson, freedom. All right. Part of that 2% along. Oh, yeah. With the Starbucks. Totally. Let's see. My late father-in-law had a 3,000 plus collection of coffee cups. They had them hanging from the walls and ceiling. Yeah. My mom had hers, a lot of hers displayed. Just kind of in display cases. But, and I originally wanted them because when my mom passed away, the kids were a little bit younger. And so they wanted, they had this affinity for Starbucks and knew that, that she liked collecting them. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll just take all the Starbucks mugs and then we'll just eBay the ones that we don't want. Of course, that never happened. My mom died like over 5 years ago. Actually, I think it was 2017. Yeah, shoot, it was 2017. So almost 5 years ago. Actually, wait a minute. This is 23, 17. So in June, it'll be 6 years. Damn, that's a long time. Anyway, so these have just been sitting in containers for like 6 years. And so, and we had kind of pulled them out and initially just kind of, organize them. And then when my stepfather passed away, we got all the rest. And so now we have them all. Just insane. So we'll see how many we can get rid of tomorrow. But we wanted to price them fair, but we didn't want to price them where, you would go and like buy a cup for $5 and then put it on eBay for 15 or 20. So, it was 2016. 2016 is when she passed. Oh, crap. Why did I think it was 2017? Okay. Well, shoot. But anyway, so we have those, and I did pull some aside, just because, for sentimental value, just because some of them were actually kind of cool. But the bulk of them away. Let's see. But yeah, so that's been a challenge. It's like, what price do we put them at? We want to price them to sell, but we don't want to price them to sell so somebody else can go make a lot more money off of them. So yeah. Shoot. Let's see what else. What else is going on? Oh yeah. So Bram's Camp. It's another big thing. Bram's Camp is coming up. Of course, I posted yesterday in the CSSD group that that we were 84 days away. So saying, hey, who's going to be, who still wants to come? Because we still have the 3-day available. But I finalized day 1 and day 2 for the 5-day excursion. Confirmed my reservation with, I had reserved the van like months ago, but I just wanted to make sure that I still had the van because don't want that to go away. Anyway, so I confirmed that so on Bram's birthday, we're actually going to be going out to Pacific City and training on the beach. So it was like, coming up with the itinerary of how long is it going to take there? What are we going to do? How long are we going to train for? That kind of stuff. So, and then, what was it? And then I've been trying to work with the Mary Hill Museum, because they have it's out here in Washington, down off of, it's about 2 hours east on Highway 14. They've got they kind of control. There's this a recreation of Stonehenge, but it's kind of set up as a memorial. So like I think is it like a military memorial, but it's they just call it the Stonehenge Memorial. So I was thinking, what it would be so cool to go there and train there. So I reached out to them, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, no, that's so cool, but you can't film there." And not that we were actually gonna, I mean, you can take pictures, but you can't like film. And I was like, "Oh," and there's no bathrooms, there's no water, like it's just kind of, it's not in the middle of the desert, but it's not close to anything. So down at the bottom of the hill near the river, because it's right on the Columbia, is the Mary Hill Washington State Park. And so I actually rented out a spot there for us to train, and it's got bathrooms and water and electricity and trees and grass. So that's going to be awesome. So, and then of course it's just like Stonehenge is literally right up the hill. So at any time we could go up there and kind of hang out and do whatever. So looking forward to that. And then of course we're going to do what is it? His normal 3-day camp on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've got people who've just registered for just that. So got people from all over the United States coming so far. So everybody love it. I'm excited. This is probably the biggest camp that I've put on, especially with a 5-day experience. Like I was like, am I doing too much? But it's going to be one of those one-time things where it's just like, why not? And I've been doing Bram's. This will be my 6th year doing Bram's birthday. So lots of work goes into that. Let's see what else we got going on. We got Mother's Day coming up. I'm doing a Mother's Day self-defense class. Did the same thing last year. Actually, it was pretty successful last year. We had a nice group of moms come. So hopefully we'll get some of those ladies back and maybe some new ones. So been promoting that. And yeah, so it's kind of all good here in a way. No new Star Wars though. Mandalorian is over, and no new Star Trek. I had to rewatch the last couple of episodes of Picard. Just amazing. And then of course I wanted to I wasn't really thrilled with, I mean, the ending of Mandalorian was okay. Good ending. I mean, it was a good episode, probably the best of the season. But everybody has been telling me, got to watch both of them, especially Rob. Got to watch both of them at the same time to kind of get that full story. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll, I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. In fact, while I mean, it's not new Star Trek, but as I'm labeling and doing all this like menial work, I've got Enterprise going. In fact, I just finished, what was it? What episode was it? It's the episode where T'Pol ends up, she doesn't do the mind meld. This other Vulcan, this group of Vulcans who are exploring their emotions, he mind melds with her. And then from that, of course, she ends up getting some mind meld disease, or I don't know, something like that. But the one before that is probably one of my favorite episodes, and I appreciate it more and more and more the more I listen to the Shuttle Pod show, the podcast with Dominic Keating and Connor Trenier, because that's their favorite episode, and they talk about it all the time. And that's actually kind of one of the things with the Shuttle Pod show is based off Shuttle Pod 1, but it's the one where Trip and Malcolm are basically in a shuttle. They get Enterprises off doing something, and it's pretty much their, like, that's kind of where they bond, their true bond with friendships. So yeah, the no consent mind meld episode. Well, she consented until she said no. So, but yeah, because I was in fact, it was funny because I was watching this and I was like, oh, she says no. So is this a rape episode? Is that what this is? I mean, you could probably do it that way, because Next Generation really kind of did that with that one race of people that they didn't do mind melds, but they could psychically basically rape you. So that was a big episode. I can't remember that episode name or what even season it was, but I know it was this race, and it was Troy, because of course she was she's somewhat telepathic. So let's see. My brain's just kind of going all over the place. Got to go, guys. Now I have to think about Jolie Blaylock. That's awesome. That's how I saw the messaging of it. No means no. Absolutely, yeah. Rob says, bye, Jim. Safe travels and have fun. Oh, okay. So Jim is over. He's in, I think, Germany right now, and then he'll be going up to Norway and Denmark. Asa is going to be going up to Denmark. I think it's Denmark. Is it Denmark or Norway? Anyway, he's going to be one of those locations. So he'll actually be teaching at that seminar. I think that happens next weekend, but it's crazy. Like, he lives in Boston, and to fly to Norway, let's just say it's Norway, wherever he's going, to fly over there, it's a $500 round trip ticket. $500. That's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. For me, just to fly to Jim's, it was costing like $900. Like, that's crazy. So say I was going to do the same thing. Say I was going to, I really wanted to go. I couldn't go, couldn't afford it at the time. Brandon Beliso was doing this Time Live in Boston, and I had talked to Asa, and I was going to stay with him, and then I was going to do this thing. So I think I found a plane ticket for like $600. Okay, $600, not bad. If I had a round trip ticket, say if I just did it instead of, because it would cost me like $1,600 to go from here to Norway. But even on the low end, a round trip ticket from here to Boston, say $600, and then $500 from Boston to Norway, that's $1,100. That's actually not bad. That's actually pretty good. But of course, maybe next year. I don't know. Harvey and I have talked about potentially going to Italy and hanging out with Gianluca Because he did that once, had a lot of fun. He's like, dude, you got to do it. I know Jim does the German tour or wherever, like twice a year, at least once a year. And I'd like to at least do that once. Maybe not with him. Like I was talking about this with my students last night, my teen adult students. For me, I have no problem traveling. I would love to go to Germany, to Egypt, like see the sights. Even like, and specifically, we were talking about Japan, because Harvey right now is in Japan for work, and you know he and I text and be like, hey, I wish you could be here, whatever. And but it's one of those where it's like, I would love to go to these places, but I don't really want to go alone. And it's almost like I wouldn't mind, like, I'd love to go with my wife. She is not a traveler though. What is it? But I would like to go with somebody who has been there before and wouldn't be bored doing the touristy stuff. And or trying something new, you know. But it's like, if they've been there before, they kind of know the sites and they know what is cool and what isn't cool. Because I'd be like, oh, I want to go there. And they'll be like, Mish, that's dumb. This is better. That's kind of what I would want. So, and just like when we were talking about Japan, I really don't know what I'd really want to see if I went there. And I would be more apt to go to Okinawa, of course, over the mainland. But even there, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to do a little bit of research. But again, having somebody going, hey, this is really cool. Let's go see this. Or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. It's just me. Let's see. I don't know if I announced this last week. My nephew decided that he wasn't able to do the artwork for the kids' books. But Bobby Stroop is. So haven't seen anything yet, but it's been a little bit. I'm not worried about it. I know that that's going to be a long-term. It's going to, because it takes a while to draw and do all that kind of stuff. So so I've got Jim's thing. I was talking to a student of mine, and he is like, I have video of the applications, and I have, of course, the Q-Show information guide and all that kind of stuff. He is more of a learner of like reading it. He's a reader, like a reader and then a doer, where I'm a watcher and a doer. That's how I learn. I can read, I can read it and do it, but that's just how I learn better. And I told him that, and he's like, oh, he was asking, can he do screenshots off of my instruction videos so he can keep those in his notes? I was like, that's fine. One of my thoughts, though, originally was to do a book for my curriculum, and really would only be gauged for my students. And because I have it broken up into training years, that book one would have the foundation curriculum, and then foundation curriculum, and then and then of course the year one curriculum, year two curriculum, so on and so forth. And they would have all the kata moves in there, breakdown of the applications, all that kind of stuff. And so, and I figured that also too would be a long-term thing. And, you know, if somebody wanted to buy it off the internet and, you know, have it for themselves, and maybe even like one of the reasons I did I have it set up online for the students to be able to access it through basically the student portal is because I'm kind of using my students as guinea pigs, because what if somebody wanted to learn virtually from me? So, you know, they could actually have all the video, have all the information, and then they check in with me, say like once a week or once every couple weeks, and then virtually train that way. I got a text. Who did I get a text from? Jim sent a picture. Oh, sweet. I'll share this. Jim's just sent this. So Dwayne just posted that. That's very cool. Yeah, I would love to do that. So I don't know. I wonder if I could get my wife to do that. I don't know if Ashton is still watching. Do you think I could get your mother to go like traveling with me? I mean, I got her to go to San Francisco with me last summer, but that was for work. I don't know if she'd want to just go and be a tourist. So anyway, that's kind of, I really can't think of anything else. Like, I don't know. I will say this. So Rob commented that he is, so Rob got this laser engraver. Harvey, we were just talking about you. All good things though. All good things. Rob got this laser engraver, and he's I sent him a crimp to see if he could laser engrave the crimp, because everybody who comes to the 12 the 12 spots for the 5-day get a special crimp. And so so success, like great. So he's going to be doing those for me. And I can't remember where I was going with that. But he's doing these laser engraving glasses for one of the bars that he goes to. One of his buddies owns a bar. It's just, I think, the first anniversary or something like that. So they're doing that, and at the same time raising money for another friend of theirs. So so I think that's really cool. So we've got he's got a new toy that he's playing with, and he's helping out friends. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, Harvey, when are you due back in the United States? Is it late June, early or late May? I can't remember. If you can post it here, post it here. If you don't want to post it here, you just send me a message on Facebook or just text me. What was I going to say? My brain. Let's see. Seriously? Oh, sweet. That's awesome. So just in time for Mother's Day. Fantastic. That will be cool. All right. Well, that's cool. I'll have to come up. And by that time, I should have a copy of the book that I will bring for you. Did I order enough? I think I ordered enough. So, well, that's cool. Let's see. Shoot. Yeah, my brain is just kind of fried right now. I'm really blue sky. In fact, it was so funny. I woke up this morning, and I always check the temperature. Hold on a second. Oh, it blew away. Sorry. I always take the temperature just to see, what should I expect for today? Because usually it's been rain and cold. This week has actually been nice. It's going to nice, and it's going to drift down and then kind of even out. So when I woke up this morning it was 7, it was 48 degrees out. 48 degrees has been our high here for the last month. Occasionally hitting 50. Occasionally there was a day or two where it hit 60 degrees. It's like, oh my gosh. Today it's supposed to be 84 degrees. Tomorrow it's only supposed to be 80 degrees. But yeah, so and of course, I'm outside. So a different view. And Bobby is texting me. I sent him some pictures of the cats. What's great about this? So we're using, I'll share this with you. So let's see, what is it? So for the kids' books, it's cat based. Huge cat. I'm a cat fan. Anyway, I've got my cat Dojo. If nobody sees that's a perfect picture of Dojo. So I sent Bobby a bunch of the pictures. He's on there. Sweet. I was just talking about you. So he had just sent me this, Bobby just sent me, I had sent him pictures because I want to use, of course, you have Dojo the Karate Kitten. He's the primary character, but then you have Zaw, Bram's cat, and I've been trying to get a good picture. Bram just randomly sent me this picture of Zaw this morning, and just a perfect picture. Just a great picture. There's a picture of Zaw for you. There we go. Try and get there we go. And then we have my nephew's cat, Carl with a K. And then Willow. Oh, here, that's too much. Oh. There we go. There we go. There's Willow. Anyway, Willow is a very skittish cat. But anyway, so he sends me this message. What's great about it is that they all have pretty distinct faces. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. I didn't think I was going to catch this. Well, you're lucky. And in fact, because I've just been spewing forth, and at some point I was like, I don't know. I wasn't sure what else I was going to talk about. Ooh, and just popped into my head, I've got another cat for you. Ashton, if you're still watching, I don't know if he's still watching. He's still on YouTube. There's still one person watching on YouTube. He usually watches on YouTube. Anyway, Ashton, send me a picture of, is it Slippers? Your cat, the black cat. I think that's my grand cat. Like the one, like, I know he's just pure black, but if you get a good picture of him, send it to me. And then I will, I'll send it off to Bobby. So then we have another character. No, just the black cat. I think Slippers, right? No. Just the black cat. The male black cat. Yours. Not Destiny's. Not the gray and white one. Actually, you know what? Just send me both. Send me both. Then we can do. Yeah, just send me both. That'll be easy. Yeah. Of course, I didn't show it. Okay. So Slippers is the black cat. Yes. Yeah, just send me both. That'll be easy because that'll just give more character. Maybe not a main character, but we have 26 letters of the alphabet. So let's see. Maybe not one of him being lazy. I don't know. Do you have any? And maybe what's good here. This one a dojo. Okay. That one a dojo. Do you have any of the cats like that, just standing? Like dojo, it was almost like he was posing. It was really weird. So, um, let's see. Because dojo usually doesn't pose. He's usually just a lazy cat. Let's see. Oh, and we did what is it? We did promotions this last week, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, that's a great one for that's a great one of Mittens. All right, so I'm gonna Bobby. I'm sending you another one right now. That's a great one of Mittens. It's almost like she posed for that. So, okay. Oh shoot, what was I going to say? But we had it was great. We had good tests next week. So part of my rotating curriculum is for year 2, and the next trimester starts next week in May, and we go for basically 4 months, 12 weeks of learning, and then a month of review. So for year 2, which basically is blue, green, green, 9th, 8th, and 7th Q. One of those sections is stick, because of course that's just, I teach stick. And I figured it would be easier to teach stick all at once. And I have this, I did this with modular. I did like a test of how to teach it over a 3-month period and then do a month. How would that look like? And I did it online. So I got a great online learning experience. So you can actually teach knife online. A lot of people don't think so. Of course, it is easier with a partner, but it is what it is. So I have an idea of what I want to teach for stick, but I haven't tested it. So I'm using my teen and adult class, even the ones that are not year 2 students. Everybody promoted. We're starting. It just so happens that we're all on the same track. So I was like, it doesn't matter. Everybody's next belt is going to be stick. And I'm doing this for the teen and adult class. So I'm using them as my guinea pigs. I'm going to take notes because I have an idea of what I want to teach for each stripe, but I don't know if it's too much or too little. So it's kind of where I'm going with that. So I have an outline. I'll formalize that. And of course, what is it? Of course, we have, I might just like right after that, do pictures and video for the book. Yeah, that picture. Oh, see, okay. I don't know if you guys can see this. Check this out. There's Dojo. He's just sitting there. Hi. Crazy cat. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is Slippers. He is just black, just a black cat. So, Okay. All right. I'll have to crop that one. He's kind of, Ashton, do you have a bigger one of him? Because he's kind of small in that. He kind of looks like just like a little black dot. I don't know. I want to get the best ones I can for Bobby. Yeah. So there you go. What else is going on? But yeah, so that's another thing I'm doing is and another thing is that as I've gone through like with the Kempo stuff, it's like I've even had to change some of the applications. So, and I don't know if I've talked about this before. One of the things I teach is an underhand wrist lock for this position as an application out of Taikyoku. But I have big paws. And so when I come up, I can grab. It doesn't matter. I can get on different points. It works. Teaching this to a little kid, though, sometimes they don't have the grip strength. Sometimes they're potentially defending themselves against somebody who has big hands, and their little hands can't really get around the back of this. So, so it's like, okay, well, maybe for the little kids, I will teach something else. So, so even through that, I've even had to change what I've taught, which is good because I think when it comes to like Ken's request to, hey, can you share, can I screen grab your videos, to take notes? And then me going, well, I should just start, that should just be like long term, but that should just be my next, not my next official book, but just one of the projects that I kind of do on the side where it's like, oh, okay, I'll do this and then kind of put it together. It's like, okay, well, because I had a plan, I had an outline, everything worked great. So far, everything I've taught has been really good, and has worked within each stripe. It's just, okay, how do I modify it? What needs to change to make the curriculum better for these new people coming up? So yeah, so that's what I'm doing with the Arnis thing. That's what, and I'm constantly, thinking what can be refined, what can be better, because I not only want it just to be a martial arts class, but also something that is practical. Like there's an application that I teach out of Naihanchi Nidan that I'm like, I don't know if I want to teach that anymore. And I think even out of Naihanchi Shodan, I think there's an application that I teach in class. And I'm just like, that's, in fact, there was one, like I teach it to like adults, but I really wouldn't teach it to kids. So, so I have, and I think even the kid version, I want to change. Just make it simpler. More, I want the kids to be able to be effectively defend themselves and at least not get in too much trouble. Like, I try and stay away from strikes to the head, that kind of stuff, but the adults, teens, I don't care. Little kids, let's stick to the extremities and the body. So just one of my thoughts processes. So, all right. We are coming up on an hour. Holy cow. All right. I think and really nothing else is popping in my head. And I got to pop popcorn, 400 bags of popcorn. So it is what it is. Oh, and price stuff. So yeah, I think that's it. Now don't go away just yet. I still got some love for you. Yeah, thank you for hanging out, conversing with me. when I get, I'll send some more. I'll send that picture of what's his name, Slippers to you, Bobby. And but until next week, yeah. Till next week, stay safe, be good, Ryuki, live long and prosper. Thank you for hanging out, all that jazz.